Well, with less than an hour to go before the liftoff, SpaceX has now postponed the launch of the Falcon 9 rocket from Florida that was carrying a crew of 4 astronauts who would have replaced the so-called stranded NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore. And according to NASA and SpaceX, they have scrubbed today's launch attempt of the agency's Crew 10 mission to the International Space Station due to a hydraulic system issue with the ground support clamp arm for the Falcon 9 rocket at the launch complex at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. So it means that for some more days, as far as when they would be stuck in space, that will continue. But Group Captain VN Jha is connected with us. Good morning to you. Just less than an hour before the liftoff, SpaceX decides to postpone the launch. What does it mean? How long will the astronauts be stranded in space?
Well, very good morning. I wish this liftoff would have gone, without any hitches. But then, the other unpredictability in the space launches. One of the thumb rule in the space launch is that in case if you experience any problem before launch, do abort. Do not cut corners in addressing the issue. This is what exactly Boeing had done in cutting the corners, because they had failures with the Starliner. They knew that there are leakages in their thrusters, and still they preferred to launch that mission. It was a test mission. So I have written a book on the human space mission, the concepts of everything that is required in the human space missions, and this is one of the thumb rule that Boeing Starliner had ignored. Even Sunita and Butch, they should have, put their foot down against the launches of that Boeing airliner. But then what is gone past cannot be rectified. Yes, it is unfortunate that Sunita and Butch Wilmore are stuck there. But, these are the things you cannot do anything. There is a module there in the International Space Station, which is for any emergency use. But these bringing back Sunita or Butch are not under the emergency. There are very strict regulations about what is called an emergency. They don't fulfill that emergency criteria, so that emergency module cannot be brought back to the Earth. So Sunita and Butch will have to wait for any of the launch in which they can come back.
The wait has gone on for approximately 9 months, sir. I mean, they were initially expected to stay at the ISS for only 8 days, but their return has been repeatedly delayed.
Yes, it is true. Only one launch, crew module launch has gone from SpaceX. That was on 28 September 24, in which Nick Hague and I think Gorbanov, they had gone from here, but they had gone for some other purpose. That purpose was entirely different. It was not for bringing back Sunita and Butch. They had gone for a mission, and they have come back, or they are likely to come back sooner or later. Yes. In that they couldn't have come. There was another launch on 5th November as well last year, but that was a cargo mission. They cannot come in the cargo mission. It is not like a passenger train or the cargo train. Yes. It is not that. There has to be a life.
8-day long stay had turned into a 9-month long stay, and we still don't know if the mission would be rescheduled and anytime soon as well. Because let me get in a word from Rishabh as well, a reporter also on this. Because Rishabh, the 2 astronauts have remained engaged in research and maintenance activities alongside their ISS colleagues, and this has been, however, a growing concern now that when this mission would be rescheduled and when they will be brought back to Earth.
Well, definitely, as Group Captain was also rightly pointing out that, we have heard a number of times that they'll be brought back, but the space missions, especially space missions which has human, involvement, has an intrinsic way of functioning, and it's very unreliable as well. And if there are even a smaller glitch, that could be fatal as much as well. And this time around, Sunita Williams has been on space station for almost 9 months now. The 8-day mission, as you were mentioning, has turned into a 9-month-long mission. Both the astronauts are undertaking various works at the space station, waiting every day to return home. The United States have tried a number of times in the past 9 months to bring them back, but every time that hasn't worked. And this time around, just an hour before the SpaceX could have taken off from the NASA headquarters, it was called off because of hydraulic failure. And this is not the first time that such issues have happened. So we'll have to wait furthermore to understand when will Sunita Williams return. Remember, this
all right, when will the mission be rescheduled? That is something that we'll keep an eye out. NASA in a statement has issued, which says that they plan to launch the SpaceX rocket from Florida, carrying the new crew and a mission that would have paved way for Williams and Wilmore's return. However, the launch was called off due to a hydraulic system issue. Thank you very much, Group Captain Jha, for joining us here on the broadcast. To you as well, Rishabh. With that, we head into a short break.